Check it out. This video is about a recent paperwork that alleges YouTuber 1090 Jake may be a snitch. But most importantly, this video will go over the highlights of an Instagram live interaction between 1090 Jake and No Jumper employee Rimo, better known as the real Beverly Hills Cop.
So explain what the difference between a grievance and a statement is, because niggas gonna be like, that's still telling if you write some shit out. You know what I'm saying? So like, break that down.
Your statement is gonna be whatever you initially fucking, I think like whenever the shit actually happened. I don't even remember if we wrote a statement or they just wrote it for us and like forged our name, because we all got cuffed up. Because I was one of the ones that got taken to medical, because me and Dude both got hit up. And the other two just got beat, and then they tried to say, like, when they beat the fuck out of him, all the shit that they did to his face, they said that I did it.
Yeah.
So a grievance could be anything, bro. Like, you got a sock with a hole in it. You got whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's just a grievance is like a complaint or an appeal, or like, I don't really know how to put it in civilian terms because they don't really have the same shit in civilian court.
See, 1090 Jake says he doesn't know how to put it in civilian terms because even though online he's compared to Bobby Hill from King of the Hill, based on the nonsense he was speaking, he's more like Boomhauer. Plus, 1090 Jake being a snitch isn't a surprise, it's in his name. After all, 1090 Jake may be associated with the Jakes. Plus, 1090 might need to make a 180 and go back to telling those prison stories that he used to say. But it gets deeper, pause, with this highlight video I'm about to show you. Check it out.
Did you have to write that grievance out, or like that was some shit that they came to you with? Like, how did the grievance even, how did you know what I'm saying? Because some niggas right now, they saying it's not a grievance.
I requested the grievance.
So you did request?
I requested. Yeah, so normally if you request a grievance, you pretty much signing up to go to war with the police.
Yeah.
Because they know you're going to be complaining about something they did. So when you go for a grievance, you're signing up to go at it with the police. That's really who I went through it with. So it's a complaint towards whoever's in charge of you. That's how the shit popped off.
And this is the paperwork that's being tied to 1090 Jake in regards of allegedly snitching. So you be the judge if it's snitching or not. Basically, he is implicating at least two people. You got Jimmy. You got Jerry Lewis, great balls of fire relating to an incident that 1090 Jake was a part of. I can't say if it's snitching or not. Maybe I'm not the appropriate judge, but he is naming names into an incident that 1090 Jake is a part of. Let me tell you of a incident that may relate to this. You see, Boosie, the rapper, he was shot in Texas. And when the police asked him to give a report or an account of what happened, Boosie gave a very vague story, say something like, I noticed I got shot. Suddenly, I'm in the hospital. So some people would say, actually, a lot of people would say that's not snitching because he doesn't name names. He doesn't implicate anyone, whether describing exactly what the person looked like, the car the person drove, the person's physical attributes. So you see here is 1090 is naming the first and last name, clearly identifying individuals. But you see, the thing is, it's like, for example, maybe he gave this grievance statement to a CEO and her name was Connie. I get it because 1090 Jake is often compared to Bobby Hill, and Bobby Hill is the love interest of Connie. Connie is the love interest of Bobby Hill. I get it. When the CEO is named Connie, it is hard to resist. But Connie's father, Con, would not be happy. Plus, in this video highlight, Jake makes a false narrative saying it was a grievance against the CEOs. But not only that, he goes screaming. That's right. Jake is really turning up the heat. Check it out.
Facts. That's 100%. And you know what else they say? The second somebody gets shot, kicked, punched, flipped by the police, what do? They complain, right?
Yeah.
They say something. Everybody starts marching around and fucking boycotting and tearing shit up. Anytime something happens with the police. So I said something about two other black motherfuckers getting beat by the police. I didn't even get beat. I said something off their face, right?
Yeah.
And I suffered the consequences.
That's right. What you heard from Jake was so false and fake, it might be compared to somewhat like a comparison people like to say of me, like they say I look like Jackie Chan. Maybe I do look like Jackie Chan, but that's false because I just don't have his moves or his money. Or some say that I look like China Mac, the famous YouTuber. But here's the thing. Between me and China Mac, I still have my hair. But speaking of comparisons and contradictions, Jake earlier made this definition of snitching in a No Jumper clip.
Really put this on the level of some of the other snitching stuff that we've talked about, right?
When you compare it to the level of other people, you're trying to downgrade what he said, right? But what you can do is try to break down the definition of snitching.
Right.
When two people commit a crime and one person tries to get out of it by placing blame, that's generally what people say is snitching.
And now, despite what you heard in that No Jumper clip, Jake changes the definition where it is not snitching if nobody goes to jail. See it in this video highlight.
Y'all was already in jail, so you don't feel like that was snitching though? Like even writing that statement out, like you don't feel like damn, I shouldn't have did that one?
Nah, because it had no effect on nobody.
Because y'all was already in jail type shit.
Not only were we already in confinement, we weren't in AC. So AC is before they figure out if you did something. So if I stab you in prison, I go to AC confinement. Then they're going to try to do the investigation and figure it out. When I go to DR court, they're going to say, nah, we don't have enough evidence that he stabbed him and let me out. Or they're going to say, nah, we know you stabbed him. Yeah, it's getting 120 days of confinement. We already went to confinement for the shit. So he already got found guilty along with everybody else that didn't do nothing.
Whoa. You see 1090 Jake turning up, and I understand why. It's not easy to live through stress when your father, Hank Hill, isn't doing well in propane. And speaking of propane, it may have lit a fire to 1090 Jake's street credibility. So if there's fans that are depending on his street credibility for the reason of watching his videos or the main reason of watching his videos, you might need to do a 180 and do something else. Might need to sell that car he has on his Instagram. However, if 1090 Jake's fan base don't really care about his street credibility and are mainly looking for quality output similar to the videos he's been posting on his YouTube, then he may be unfazed, and my suggestion to 1090 is to double down. Keep pushing videos and maybe de-emphasize on the fact that I am not a snitch. Just try to ignore that part and just keep going for your core audience, because it's possible that his main fan base, I'm talking about the ones who really support him, don't care about the snitching stuff. They just want him to deliver. In fact, I would say a lot of his fans, they may see him as a more, let's say, frequent Trap Lord Ross. Yeah, Trap Lord Ross makes 2-hour, 3-hour videos, but they don't come very frequently. Versus 1090 Jake, he's giving out more consistent output. So maybe we can say 1090 is like fast food, because that's what he looks like. Somebody who's eating a lot of fast food versus Trap Lord Ross, he looks like he's been eating no food. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.